Okay. I am so close to figuring this out. So, still couldn't really find much information online, so I did what I normally do when I don't understand something and start from scratch. Here, there are new scoreboard type things, which one of them is being Minecraft dropped. So whatever item you drop, it'll give you a score. I don't think I'm actually going to be using that one if I can figure this part out. Because although that does do what I want, it doesn't destroy the firework after I've thrown it. Mainly because it's giving me the score, not the item. So that's one thing I've learned. I need to figure out how to give a score to an item that is thrown. And so far, as you can see, it is deleting the firework. And all I need to do now is figure out how to see if I can make it decide whether to destroy one that's named or one that's not. So I'm guessing both of these will be destroyed. Yep. So that's the goal. That's what I have so far. You can still use a dummy. And doing players still. You just make it so it's the type is item, make the NBT tag, and instead of specifying its name, just specify what item it is. Now I need to figure out how to specify the name. Here we go. And as usual, trying to name it does not seem to work still. Maybe I just didn't do this right. We'll keep testing. Why does it have to be so difficult? Everything is fine. This makes sense. It works when I summon an object. Here, look. Summon Minecraft item, stone, count, display name, legendary. Boom, displays it's legendary. Put the exact same command here. The ID is a rocket, which does work, we already know that. It's the part where you name it that doesn't seem to ever work. Why? What am I doing wrong? Still can't figure out names, but you know what? What we figured out so far is good enough for now. It's not like we're going to be using rockets for anything in the world by the time I figure out how to actually do it. So for now, any rockets that are thrown, named or not, will teleport us to our main teleporting area. So now we can get around decently simple. Nice. Now we can start fixing the more easy stuff, now that we can actually get around to places. I think the first big thing that we should work on is making all the houses look much nicer now. Because now we can actually do this, and the bark won't show up. Though I do believe we'll want to keep some of the roofs like this because that's just how they are in the game. So we'll have to take note and keep watch over what should and shouldn't change. We got some weird things going on. So first we got Navi down there, and then we got every pot seems to have been filled with a cactus. I don't know why. It just seems to happen. At first I was like, I thought it was just these two, and then I looked behind me, I'm like, no, that one's definitely not supposed to be there. So, gotta replace all the pots for some reason. And we gotta fix Navi, because these are teleporting her relative to these commands. Which kind of sucks, because now we have to remember where we placed her last time. Oh well. Yeah, time to get to work. The one bright side is that while I'm changing anything that's block related, I don't have to worry about any of the commands going off and resetting them because they're already broken. Jesus, what is that? What? What the heck is that? What in the world? Oh. What? Why is it filling with grass? Like what's grass then? Grass block. There's a few of these in the world, so at least I'll know where to look for them. Huh. Well then. That was loud! Alright, I got most of the trees done, I think. Pretty much all of them. I even did the little extra ones just because since you're going to be down here, you're going to be able to see what was normally right here. So I decided to smooth that out as well. And now for the big one. How do I go about this? Because you can decide the rotation, so I don't know if I just want to replace all logs. Honestly, if I'm going to replace them anyways, it might as well try to see if it works like this. So hopefully things go okay. Maybe I should make a backup. It's time. Let's see how this goes. Oak logs. Well, nothing looks like it changed. It's because nothing did change. Nope, it did change. Okay, good. I was like, why didn't it work? Okay, I like the direction it went. Because if it was going this way, I would not have liked it. This one, I don't like the way it's going, so we'll just... Next, we'll fix his nose. Now let's fill the rest of it, if possible. This one we want to change. Everything else should be fine. Maybe we want to change this one as well, actually. Yeah, okay. So these two we need to change, and then we need to fix this. I guess this didn't reach. So how do I change the direction now? That's annoying. We're not doing that, so yep. We're doing it hand placement. Just like the good old days when I first started making this world, because I had no idea how to do anything. Now we're back to square one. Isn't it great? No, not at all. And I can't find help. Well, that's another thing to give up on for now. I don't know how to fill things with a certain direction. Is it even in the game anymore? I don't know. Because I just looked up at like everything and it shows like what it is. It used to be, what it is now, and each one shows that the data value is in it, and then when it shows what it is now, it's just gone. I assume it is, let's see, right here. Hold the freaking phone. I forgot I even said this part, and I was so close to figuring it out. What the heck? I am so close to being amazing, but I'm not. Or you can add an NBT tag, I think, or whatever. But I've tried like rotation 1 and like data 1, capital and lowercase. I've tried all of them. So I give up on that for now. We're just gonna do it the long way. Honestly, that looks so much better. Especially the eyebrows not having like that on them anymore. Definitely nice to have everything a lot smoother. Continuing on to something else. I know what we can change. The other forest that I decided to make, because yeah. Oh yeah, I also changed the texture from the acacia log back to like what it used to be, since we now have an actual block for it. So now I gotta replace everything that's acacia because I changed the texture to make it look like this. Okay. Come on. I hate this. God. Holy cow. Guess what? Look. Look at this. This is working. What? I swear I tried this before. So I figured out how to make the tag with like what type of item it is. So it's like NBT, item, ID, Minecraft, firework, rocket. Then I tried adding this before where it's like tag, display name, legendary. And it didn't work last time I tried, I thought. I don't know. Oh! I didn't have this text thing here. Are you serious? That's all it took. God, I've been like taking a break for like the past few days just because I was just like, I don't know where to start. I don't know where to begin. I just need to wait until there's more information. And then just randomly, I was just kind of like messing around with it because I was waiting for a friend to show up. And wow, that is a good start. Because a lot of the things in this world are revolving around named things that are being thrown on the ground, especially like this boomerang and the slingshot and the boots. Maybe not the boots. But God, finally, we have somewhere to start. Alrighty, after that big find out, things are starting to finally go a little bit smoother now. So basically, it's mostly just switching everything around into the correct order and getting rid of some of the code, if maybe adding a little bit, but most of it's getting rid of it. So from before, to test for if the player was hungry or not, I would test for it, the food level, and then it would give you the effect. Now it's just in this single command. So basically the same food level thing is there, but it's as an NPT tag for the nearest player rather than just testing for it like that. And then it just runs the correct command after that. So it's definitely simplifying things a lot more, which is really helpful because everything's kind of a mess, and this might help make things a little bit more clean looking, hopefully. But yeah, now I'm just slowly going around everything and fixing it all up, which one of the things I decided to fix was the Eye of Truth, which we need to name it real quick. Or not, never mind. So this works again. And everything that's marked with a mushroom block is not looked at. So some of it might work, I kind of doubt it, but we'll see. Slowly learning more and more information, so I have cleared out most of this. I still need to work on the falling and the pot thing, which will be a completely different thing, I think. Test for what item you get in a pot when you're looking around, like money or seeds or anything, but I've been working on the bombs, and I'm having a problem with the wither effect. It has to be within a certain radius of the item. You can't just, like, get damage from it when you're all the way over here. So I'm trying to figure out if there is in fact a radius type thing, and it does look like it. As you can tell, I don't know how it works quite yet, but it is in fact distance. So currently, if you are a distance of 1 from an item, it will run a command, but it has to be very specific. So apparently it has to be executed as a certain thing. I'm not sure. I'll figure it out more. It is basically exactly a radius command. So turns out the only thing I was missing was 2 periods. I don't know what those do, but when you have those in place, it does work. So now it's pretty much the exact radius from what I can tell, at least. Like, it doesn't affect it unless you're right up against the block for radius 1. So I assume it's the same, and that's a good thing because that makes changing all the teleporting commands a lot simpler. Phew! Something actually came up when I was trying to explain this, so I'm just going to put it in between the video. Basically, I was going through all these commands, and the cutscenes type command where it tests for how many times you've jumped to progress the story shows up at the beginning when you're talking to the Great Deku Tree at the very beginning, or not really talking to him, but he's talking to you. And that stopped working, so I was trying to figure it out. When I was working on that, however, I accidentally just kind of stumbled across it, which was the fill command thing. I don't remember how it showed up, but I ended up doing that, so here's that. Alright, we're making more and more progress, slowly but surely. I was still trying to figure out how to do the jump type of thing, where it tests for if you jump. I think I mentioned that in the last thing. It's been a day. But basically, I figured out how to fill a certain type of state for a block, and all you have to do is just use square brackets rather than curly brackets. So you say the block, and then right next to it you can put type, and then whatever side it needs to be facing. There's also some other things, which is like waterlogged, which that seems pretty cool. So I'm assuming we'll go down a block just so it doesn't destroy our world. Let's see. Waterlogged equals true. Yep, so we got a slab right there that is waterlogged. Interesting. So now we can do what we did at the forest a lot faster. And I'm glad I know that rather than trying to continue on with what I've been doing, which is replacing it so it faces the correct way. Because I had to do this entire thing right here. That wasn't the funnest. Going back to what I was trying to figure out before, which was the scoreboard for when you're jumping to progress the story. So, a lot different than it used to be, because basically, scoreboard objectives, add, test, there's a lot new scoreboards. And unfortunately, stat.jump is no longer a thing, or falling, or anything. I couldn't find it anywhere. And I'm pretty sure it's not here because I looked at like every one of them. So I started doing some more research, and this is what we started off with. I tried out a new command, which was data, and this gets all the data from the player. This is actually where the crafting stuff is stored, so like how you remember crafting recipes. And it's also got a lot of other information like what you're holding and stuff. But the more important stuff is that it has stuff like sleep timer and attributes, but the more important one even than that is fall distance. Boom. So I was like, oh my god. There's an NVT tag for fall distance on the player. So I tried to get that in specific, and I tried to start like changing it around and making it so that I can change it, which the name for it is merge. But when I was trying to do this, it was like unable to modify player data. So it was like, what? And then I tried to do execute, so it's like if the NVT tag is this, then do this. But it wasn't working when it was on 1. Then I kept trying to see if I could change any of the other properties of other types of things. And at first it was like it wasn't working, so I tried the one that was originally at, and it said the specified properties already have these values. So I was like, well, you must be able to change it then. Kept trying, couldn't. Then I went back to this and got a more specific type of thing. I don't remember what you would call it, but it ended up working because it was already at that setting. So when you're not at 0, then it doesn't work. So then I tried going back to putting it at a specific one, and from what I can tell, since you're falling so fast and the number's changing so quickly, because if you look at the number, we have our fall distance is 2.9999 blah blah blah. It's changing really fast, so I don't even think the command block can handle how fast we're like falling, so it can't really choose an exact number, or at least what number we put here. So I've made this little thing which tests for it if we're not falling, and if we are, then it adds 1 to our jump score. So if we add, or turn this on, add 1, add 1, add 1, add 1, and it works. So there we go, fixed the cutscene type of thing that I've created. It was under custom. Minecraft custom Minecraft jump. Why? It kind of sucks. I don't really know how they'd be able to do it faster, but I'm working on the falling so that you don't take damage when you fall. It's so close to working, but similar with like how it's so fast that it can't test for exactly what number you are when you're falling. I'm having the same issue with this where it's working to a certain point. So if we teleport ourselves 10 blocks, works fine. Teleport 15, works fine. Teleport 20, and we take the damage. Because even though it's all in one command, so if there's a block that is not air under you, then it'll give you the effect. But it's just not fast enough. It's not giving you the effect fast enough because it's not registering. Because giving the command in here is faster than it outputting this command here. I'm not sure. The next thing I'm going to try is testing for the block here or the one below that. Okay, I think I got it. The problem that I was having was Let me see. The problem I was having was I was using this command unless the air under you isn't air or something like that. I was putting two of them in one command, and it had to be for both of them. Had to have grass under it for it to work. Otherwise, if you had like an empty one under it, then it wouldn't work quite right. So we do have to have two different commands. But from what I can tell, it's not giving us fall when we're doing this and jumping around. And I've been testing out the height limitations, and so far I'm at 60, and it's kind of concerning because it's just like, which one is it going to not work on? So we're going to find out. We're at 60. Let's go to 70, 80. So far so good. Oops, 90. I think that's about the fastest that we can fall, because there's a certain point when it stops. Never mind, there we go. We can fall, let's see, 95, somewhere between 100 it looks like. 7. And I don't think we'll be falling about that far anytime, anywhere really. So I think we found our solution. Okay. I mean, I'll have to check around the world in case, just to make sure, but we can like specialize that to make it so that it forces us in just a certain area, because this is just in general. But if we have something that kind of does this for us everywhere, then it's not as big of a deal. But yeah, it looks like it's working, because then it gets rid of it too once you land, so it doesn't get all floaty. I think I've created one of the first almost completely working no fall damage and survival type of commands. Because trust me, I've looked. There's no one that knows how to do this without like jump boost, but then there's that glitch, so this doesn't seem to have any glitches. I'll check. Okay, we got some tests. So most of the problems that normally occur are that when it's detecting for the certain blocks that are empty to decide whether to activate it or not, usually have trouble with slabs and doors and stuff. So doors, not as big of a deal if it doesn't work. Looks like it does though. Slabs are a bit more important, and it looks like it's working just fine, other than the fact that I'm suffocating, but that's not fall damage. Good. Then yeah, I don't see any problems that could occur with this. You can run and jump and fall from any height and not take any fall damage. For the first time, I have actually found something online that helped me figure out something way more complicated than I would have ever figured out. I would have just given up. So, fortunately I found the answer though online, for once. Basically, I was trying to figure out how to make the hover boots work, where you get the hover boots, and then you start flying, but the particles were having trouble. So, I tried practicing it out, scoreboard, I've been hit plate doing that a lot. Oops. Particle falling dust, and it doesn't work. At first I was like, oh, am I missing something? But then tried doing something else like bubble. It works fine. You have to do this. Not that. This right here. Particle, falling dust, and then what block of the color of the dust it's going to be. So like, now we have sand dust. Let's try dirt. So we got all kinds of different colored dusts now, at least, but that's really difficult. Like, it sort of explained it, but not quite. Expected at position, falling dust here. Not. That one was a little. It expected too much. We figured it out, though, so that's good. And I think I'm just about done. All that's left is the boomerang and the Deku sticks. Oh, and the rock, but that'll be easy. And that'll fix everything in the redstone place. Everywhere else is still broken. It's a long, long way to go, but once I finish this, I think everything else will be pretty simple to fix too. It'll just take forever. So I won't put you guys through that. I think that's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed.